So in this part of the lesson, we are going to study about I told you pH, percentage of hydrogen ions present in a solution. So if any solution, I told you in base also H plus ions will be there, but the amount is very less, negligible. You can tell means amount of hydrogen ion present in the base is very less. Amount of hydrogen ions present in acid is more. Nikhil?
Yes, sir.
Which on what basis you will tell acid is a strong acid?
Yes, sir.
On what basis you will tell acid is a strong? On what basis you will tell acid is a strong? I have given two beakers which contain acid. So how will you tell which is a strong acid? Nikhil, you know the answer?
Sir, no.
On what basis you will tell it's strong acid? Preeti?
So number of H plus ions.
If number of H plus ions are more, it is a strong acid. Yeah, percentage of see, how will you tell acid? So it depends on the percentage of ions. If a percentage of ions, H plus ions are more, it's a strong acid. If H plus ions which are liberated during the dilution or during when it is mixed with the water, if it is very less means we'll tell it is a weak acid. So we tell citric acid, weak acid, acetic acid, weak acid, carbonic acid, weak acid. You have to know. The ions present in them, number of H plus ions present in them is less. If you take inorganic acid like HCl or H2SO4, the number of hydrogen ions liberated are more. So the pH value or pH scale tells about that only. Percentage of hydrogen ions present in any solution or any acid, the base is called is said to be has the pH scale. So like that, if you take the pH scale, that also you have learnt in 7th standard. I don't know about what is there in 8th standard. So 7th standard, I remember you have studied about the pH, So the pH value actually ranges from 0 to 14. 0 to 14. So 7th standard you have learnt. 0 to 7, it is known as acidic solution. If the pH value shows 0 to 7, at 7, at 6.5 to 7.5 if you take, they are said to be as neutral. 7 is a neutral. Then from above 7 if you take up to 14, it is basic solution. If you see, very simple it is. Earlier we used to use we use the indicators, means pH scale. Nowadays we are using digital. So it is one of the contribution of modern technology. It's a contribution of modern technology that so we are using now pH meter. pH meter ಅಂತ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಮೊದಲೆಲ್ಲ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಲ್ ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. We used to use universal indicators to check the pH value. Now precise pH value can be found of any chemical. ಯಾವುದೇ chemical ಇರಲಿ, any chemical it may be, we will tell the exact pH value of that substances. That scale is now available. Digital pH meter it is called as. But earlier we used to use universal indicators. Universal indicator was a mixture of it is a paper, simple paper if you tell. But there are parts like different indicators are used in single paper and it is dried up. If you take. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಲ್ ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟರ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. Universal indicators are made up of different indicators indicators that indicates the percentage of ion. Means is it a is it a pH? How much it is? 1 pH or 2 pH or 2.5 pH or 8.5 pH? We will know. We were knowing what is the how strong the acid is, how strong the base is. That we were knowing actually. So on that basis, we are in. Sorry, in your textbook, see figure number 2.11. In that, they have given the scale. Acidic nature increasing, basic nature increasing, middle it is neutral. Say 7 is a neutral, where it is showing the green color, light green color and green color it is showing. If you take the acid which is strong called as acid, HCl anta tagondaga, HCl is a strong acid. We know about something, we are familiar with HCl because it is liberated, it is secreted in our stomach also. ಆಸಿಡ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಎಚ್ ಸಿ ಎಲ್ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನೆನಪಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಸ್ ಸೂಪರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಬಟ್ ಎಚ್ ಸಿ ಎಲ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿಯರ್ ಆಸಿಡ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ pH ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಶೋಸ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ 1 pH, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಟೇಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೌ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್. See, the pH value, number of hydrogen ions is more means acid. But pH value, if it is 1, the pH value, if it is 1 means it is more strong acid. The pH value is 5 means it is weak acid. If you take weak acid, say the pH value may be rising, but when it is showing the less pH value means strong acid. If the solution is having a pH value of 1 means it is the strongest acid. If the pH value of a base is 8 means, so ions are increasing there. Yeah, which ions? Hydroxyl ions, OH ions, hydroxide ions is increasing there. The strongest base which is called as NaOH. NaOH is the strongest base and very familiar base to us because we are using that base in our daily life. If you take soaps, major, if you take cleansing soap, like I told you, like soap which are used for brushing our body. If you take bathing soap, if you take, they are made up of NaOH or KOH. They are called as strong bases. They show the pH of around 14, the strongest acid. See, they have given there blue color, dark blue color, or you can tell that navy blue color. The navy blue color it is showing. See, sodium hydroxide solution anta ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. Sodium hydroxide is the strongest as base. Similarly, HCl is the strongest acid which shows the pH of 1. pH ಅನ್ನೋದು potential ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, potential of hydrogen. I hope it is clear now. Go through the textbook, so you can it will be more clear. Read the textbook thoroughly, so for better understanding. And science is about asking questions. So if you read more, then you can have more doubts. So whatever I tell, you should not be satisfied with that. Read the book properly, and if you have any doubt, you can ask me. You should have a doubt, like some students are asking questions. They call me, they message me about the questions. It's a good sign of interest it is. So some are not reading at all. So if I ask simple question also, you are not able to answer. Nikhil, you are very sincere in attending the class. I'm very happy for that. But similarly, you have to study that. Notes is available with you. I have given the PDF notes. In a precise, they have given it. Easily digestible language it is. ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗುವಂತ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದು ಓದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಬುಕ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ಕೆಲವರಿಗೆ ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ. So digested content is given in that PDF notes. I don't know how many of you written that. So write it down. So this is about the pH value. So pH percentage of ions more means acid, percentage of ions less means, and OH ions more means it is base. Neutral. Neutral is which in which ions are very less. Ions are very less. ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ions ಅಥವಾ ಇದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ವಾಟರ್ ಇಸ್ a neutral if you take. So the pH value is very important in your daily life. The importance of pH in our daily life. So you have most probably many of you both have gone through the notes. I think if you take in the living world, so pH makes an very important. One example you see the drinking water, whatever we use, that pH should be neutral. That pH has to be has to be tested. Say municipality people will distribute the water to all the in the cities or in the thing in the cities they provide water to all the houses. They check the pH over there. So pH should be neutral for drinking water. Similarly, in our daily life we use the pH is very important. Like one example, the brushing the teeth. Brushing the teeth is very important process to for our healthy teeth. If you want strong and long living teeth, you should brush. Why that brushing is necessary, I'll tell you. So when you eat the food will be small amount of food will be stuck in the between the teeth. Between the teeth, that food debris will be the it will be the food for the microorganism which grows in your mouth. So our body has many microbes to take. So inside the mouth also some bacteria grows on that food debris which are stuck inside the teeth. See during that nutrition process means when this organism bacteria grows on the food debris which are stuck in the teeth, they produce some acid to decompose the food. ನಾವು ಹೇಗೆ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ಒಳಗೆ ಡೈಜೆಷನ್ ಫುಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ಕೂಡ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಸಮ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಟು convert that simple food, complex food into simple food. In this process, it produces acid. Bacteria produces acid to digest that food, the debris. That time, what happens is the pH value of pH of the mouth will increase. Acidic mouth become acidic, and your teeth slowly start to destroy. Pawan,
Sir,
can you tell me which is the hardest part of the body?
teeth, sir.
Teeth. In the teeth, which part of the teeth is strongest? Anyone knows? Vaishnavi and Vaishnavi V. Vaishnavi.
Enamel.
Enamel. Yeah, as she said, it is right. Enamel. So enamel is a part of the teeth, the external part of the teeth. If you take, so internal dentine anta irtade. So we have many parts in the teeth. Crown, dentine anta irtade. ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಏನು ಅದು ಹೊಳಿತದಲ್ಲ. So the shining nature of the teeth, that is because of enamel. The enamel will start degrading. Acid, bacteria which produces acid, that acid will destroy your teeth. Destroy your teeth. That's why we should to avoid that food debris or to remove that food debris after the dinner. Usually we should have a brush. So early morning we should have a brush. That is the reason behind this. This is a scientific aspect of brushing the teeth twice. So like this, this is one important aspect. Similarly, Similarly, see, in our stomach, acid is produced, that is HCl. HCl is produced. So, what is the role of HCl in the stomach? I hope you have studied in 8th standard. If somebody wants to tell what is the importance of HCl, you can raise your hands. Rashmi. Rashmi is ready with the answer. Sriharsha. Anyone else? Nuthan, Nikhil, Sumya, Shreya Bhatt. Cetro ಹೇಳ್ರಿ.
It helps in decomposition.
It helps in decomposition. Okay. Anyone else? Soumya Bhatt, Soumya Bhatt. Soumya Bhatt ಹೇಳ್ರಿ. Soumya Bhatt. ಸೌಮ್ಯ ಸೌಮ್ಯ ಭಟ್ ಹೇಳ
sir.
ಹೇಳ
Kill bacteria in the food.
Yeah, it kills the bacteria in the food. Majorly, that is the main intention. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? Anyone wants to tell? Siri, Rashmi. Yeah, Siri. What is the role of HCl? One more role. Yeah, Ashwit.
It breaks down the foods and digestive enzyme to produce protein.
I'm not getting you. You're not clear. Okay, Siri. Okay. See, as Soumya Bhatt told, it is right. So in the you will learn about in the life process again. So it helps in the digestion if you take. It will kill the microorganisms. And also it will activate certain enzymes present in the stomach. Enzymes will activate it activates the enzymes also. That's a very important part of that is. So as you remember one for now, that is killing the microorganism present in the food. See, if you don't have the proper food, the acid will be produced more. Say during the lunch break or during the lunch break time, you will have certain burning sensation in the stomach. That is due to excess acid production. So if you don't provide the food, you will suffer from acidity. You will suffer from acidity. For that, there is a remedy to get relief from the acidity problem. So acidity problem. So if a person is suffering from acidity problem means we provide some antacid. What do you mean by antacid? These are the medicines or these are the chemicals which neutralizes the acid present in the stomach. Antacids ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಟಿವಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡ್ವರ್ಟೈಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನೋಡಿರ್ಬೋದು ನೀವು. ಜಲೋಸಿಲ್ ಆಂಟಾಸಿಡ್ ಅಂತ, ಜಲೋಸಿಲ್ ಎಂಪಿಎಸ್ ಆಂಟಾಸಿಡ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಡೈಜಿನ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಈನೋ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಕೇಳಿದಿರಲ್ವಾ? So Eno, if you take Eno is well known to you. Everyone knows about Eno. That is used to drink when you are suffering from acidity. I hope you have seen the advertisement of these medicines. These medicines actually they are called as antacid. These neutralizes the acid present in the stomach. So milk of magnesia ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಅಲ್ಯೂಮಿನಿಯಂ ಹೈಡ್ರಾಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೀಷಿಯಂ ಹೈಡ್ರಾಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೀಷಿಯಂ ಹೈಡ್ರಾಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಮಿಲ್ಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೀಷಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸಿರಿ, any doubt, Siri? Okay, yeah, like this. This is the importance. So if you take say plants, if you take say pH value is important for the growth of the body also. Every organism lives in a specific pH, body pH. Body blood is having certain pH. Urine will be having certain pH. mouth saliva will have certain pH. If you take the body fluids also have certain pH. The pH value ranges means we will have certain health issues. Many health problems are diagnosed by knowing the pH value. If you take, remember that many diseases are diagnosed by the doctors by knowing the pH values. See, that is the one more importance of aspect of importance of pH. Importance of pH ನೋಡಿದಾಗ, so it's very important. So many people will doctors will diagnose the disease on the basis of pH. See, similarly for a farmer the pH is very important. ಈಗ ಈಗ ಹಳೆ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊದಲು ಮಣ್ಣು ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ರೈತರು ಮಣ್ಣು ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಎವ್ರಿ ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ನೌ ಮೋಟಿವೇಟೆಡ್ ಟು do the soil check. It will be free of cost if you take it. So soil test ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಪಿ ಎಚ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Similarly with pH we will be knowing the certain thing. Certain nutrients present in the soil. So ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. So pH value, if you take pH value is important. So in the agriculture process, I told you the pH. Some of the plants will never grow. Some plants will never grow in acidic soil. Acidic soil ಅಲ್ಲಿ growth ಆಗುದಿಲ್ಲ. You know, one of the adverse effect of the acid rain. Acid rain ಆದಾಗ soil pH ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿ the plants will lose this soil will lose its fertility. So restore ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ನಂತರ. So that's why pH has to be tested before growing any plant. Now in modern agriculture process, this has become a mandatory to check the pH of the soil before growing the plants. So that's very important. So if the soil is acidic means they use some bases to neutralize. Usually calcium oxide is used to neutralize the salt, neutralize the acidic nature of the soil to suitable for growing a crop plant. Some of the plants will grow in basic salt, basic nature. But no plant will grow in acidic. Remember that. So that's why the pH testing of the soil is very important process. So like this, if you take, but this is the importance of the pH in our daily life. Some of the organism they use this acidic content for their protection. If you take formic acid present in the ant will be used to protect themselves from enemies. If you take red ants, they have formic acid. When red ant bite to us, you will have some burning sensation. That is because of the acid present in their body, ant's body. Similarly, some of the plants also will have some irritation on the skin when those plants part are being touched. So that's given in a textbook. Nettle plant which will have some small hair-like structures on the leaf. If we touch that hair-like structure, you will have some irritation, burning sensation, itching, all that. So that is because of acid present in them. That is methanoic acid. So it is given in the textbook. Go through that. Many of the organisms, many of the plant part will have some acid if you take. So malic acid present in apple. Citric acid is present in lemon. Similarly, we can say one more. So even in the oil also they have some fatty acid, and sour milk will have lactic acid. Similarly, if you take one more example, oxalic acid present in tomato. Oxalic acid will be present in tomato. So methanoic acid will be present in I told you some of the plants for their protection. Like this, if you take, there are many plants which use this acidic nature to protect themselves from predators, enemies. If you take, So even the aquatic life should have a certain pH ಇರಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. Say if the pH of water increases in aquatic habitat, water is a medium for living. The medium for living only the pH value increases means it will affect on the organism present in the just a minute. I'll come back 1 minute. Nikhil Aragade. I didn't tell you where. I told you one more Nikhil. So 2 Nikhils are there in the class, my dear. Nikhil Aragade. I told one more Nikhil. I asked some question, he didn't answer properly. That's why I told Nikhil Segde. Nikhil Aragade. Nikhil.
Sir?
Nikhil.
Sir?
What happened here?
Nothing, sir.
Okay, I didn't scold you here. I didn't scold anyone. I just advised to read it. That's all.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Don't take too much tension. Don't become panic. I didn't scold you. I did not scold anyone. I told read, take the maximum utilization of the PDF notes. I told that's all. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So these are the this is about the pH value to take. So in the aquatic, say I'll go an example. In aquatic nature, what happens usually? If a fish or certain organisms which are in the aquatic habitat, if they lay egg, the eggs will be destroyed because of the raise in the pH value. When the pH value raises in the water aquatic habitat, the eggs of this aquatic animals will be destroyed. Maybe the animals will not have any problem because animals the body will be large. If you take smaller organism and the eggs of the organisms will be destroyed. Small fish eggs will be destroyed. That is one of the adverse effect of the increase in the pH value of the water in aquatic habitat. I hope you are getting my point. Go through all the points, importance of pH in our daily life. So if you have any doubt regarding that, you can just ask. So in the products, if you take many industries, they produce many of the materials. A materials ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ the pH they use acidic basic solution under a specific pH. ಈಗ ಸೋಪ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು pH ಅಂತ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಸೋಪ್ಸ್ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು pH ಅಂತ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಆ pH ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಅದು ರೆಡಿ ಆಗಬೇಕು. If the pH value of that soap increases means that may be the adverse effect on your skin. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಹೇಳೋದು ನಾನು. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಸೋಪ್ಗಳಿಗೆ pH ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂವೇ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಬರ್ದಿರಲ್ಲ. But if you take in foreign countries or Western countries, the health is very important for them. We Indians will neglect about health, but if we take Western countries, they will see the pH value of the soap and they buy the soap. I hope you are getting my point. But we Indians, we don't know. Many of the people don't know about the pH value. Soap should have certain pH which are suitable for our skin. ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ನಿಗೆ ಸೂಟೇಬಲ್ ಆಗುವಂತ ಪಿ ಎಚ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಸೋಪ್ಸ್ ರೆಡಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ಉಂಟು. ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೆಲ್ ದಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಮೋರ್ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಟೇಕ್ ಶಾಂಪೂ, ಈಗ ಶಾಂಪೂ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ ನಾವು. ಶಾಂಪೂಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಮೇಡ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಪಿ ಎಚ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ, ಅಷ್ಟು ಪಿ ಎಚ್ ಆ ತರ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಆ ಪಿ ಎಚ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಇದು ಒಂದೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸುಮಾರಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಬೆವರೇಜಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಟೇಕ್ ಬೆವರೇಜಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ, ಬೆವರೇಜಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಪಿ ಎಚ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ಡ್. ಸೊ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್. go through that in your textbook or PDF notes. If you have any doubt, you can ask in the WhatsApp group, or you can ask directly here only the next class. So this, I hope you understood this. So we'll move to the next part of the lesson, that is salts. The last part of the lesson, salts. So salts. Give me one example how salts are made usually. Who will tell? Mahesh.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me one reaction which produces salt? Mahesh,
Yes, sir.
Mahesh, tell me properties of acid here. Mahesh,
Sour in taste, sir.
then
Good conductor of electricity.
then
Corrosive in
corrosive. Why it is a good conductor of electricity?
H plus ions are there.
Okay, good. Okay, thank you. Shreya Hegde,
Sir,
can you tell me one reaction which produces salt?
hydrochloric acid plus sodium hydroxide.
Yeah, hydrochloric acid when it reacts with sodium hydroxide. Okay, what is the products formed?
Sir,
What are the products
Sodium-
formed?
sodium chloride.
What are the products formed? Products. What are the products formed during this reaction? Yeah, one is NaCl. Okay, sodium chloride. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು.
H2O.
H2O. Good. So, has you said it is right? Sudanva. Mr. Sudanva,
sir.
can you tell me what is neutralization reaction?
Sir,
What is neutralization reaction?
salts formed by the combination of acid and base through neutralization reaction.
Yeah, very good. As Sudanva said, it is right there. So I hope everyone knows that during the acid-base reaction, salts are formed. Salts usually many reactions salts are formed. Usually metal acid ಜೊತೆ react ಆದ್ರೂ salt formation ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Acid base ಅಲ್ಲಿ react ಆದ್ರೂ salt formation ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಅಲ್ವಾ? So if you take Mg, so Mg plus HCl, ನೋಡಿ acid metals react ಆದರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ? MgCl2. So this is the salt. This is the salt if you take. So here this is the salt. Salt is usually formed during the acid-base reaction. The salts are formed usually. Right? So Shreya, one example is HCl when it reacts with NaOH. So it reacts here. It reacts to form NaCl plus H2O. The reaction is there. So here salt is formed here. See. So this is the salts. Salts are the product of acid-base reaction. Salts are the compounds. These are the compounds which are formed by ionic